And on to the final category for this 2021 Caged Awards. It's Promotion of the Year. And Jordan has the results.
Yes, thank you, Ed. And this is the point in the night where all the promoters gather around, nervously chewing fingernails and rubbing their hands together, finding out if they've done it enough to succeed. But I think before we get on to the top three, it is just worth bearing in mind that it has been another tricky year for promotions up and down the country. So yeah, just a massive well done to every single one for showing the sport in a good light this year and running the meetings as well as you can. But in third position, it was Camzo with 9.7%. In second position, it was Speedworth with 20.89%. But winning the promotion of the year and gaining more votes than all the other promotions put together, it was once again Trackstar Racing. Now, what more can we say about Trackstar that hasn't probably already been said? They're just brilliant, aren't they? It probably helps that their driver base is as well subscribed as it is. But at the end of the day, you don't get a driver base if you don't treat those drivers right in the first place. And I think that's what Trackstar do very well. I was actually watched Impact Video's interview that they did with 388 Lump Taylor Sauter in 2019. It was when he qualified for the World Final through the Entertainers League. Lump went to Trackstar for that season, having been registered with Speedworth for a number of years, and he was actually saying about how well he and obviously Carl and Jack and Tom Filmer were treated throughout the year. Always made to feel very welcome, and he actually said that you automatically know you're going to be on an equal basis with other drivers that are there racing, no matter how good they are or no matter what aspect of the racing they do, whether they crash or rod. So yeah, if you treat the drivers right, then you're going to get the healthy booking list that we've seen. I know I mentioned about the World of Shell. I think having 120 unlimiteds there on the night, which was a record for the meeting. Icebreaker was fully booked again this year, which was fantastic in itself after a few years of it declining in numbers. The 1500cc National Banger Scene again, performing really, really well. 2 litre nationals as savage as ever. 2 charity meetings as well, might I add, for the War of the World teams. And yeah, I think not just the unlimited national bangers as well, but for the F1s, the National Saloon Stock Cars. I think both of their fan bases will openly admit that King's Lynn is just an excellent promotion. Trackstar have got it absolutely right. And the racing surface is always very, very good as well, no matter what the weather conditions been like in the week leading up to the meeting or the morning of the meeting. They always seem to get it right, even if it does take them 1 or 2 races to sort of bed it in and stuff. So yeah, hats off to Trackstar, the entire Trackstar team. Again, absolutely amazing effort, guys. But in second position, Speedworth. Now, James, I think you might have to return that gold sequined jumpsuit, mate. I don't think you'll be wearing that, Marshallin, next year.
Now, of course, I'm going to be slightly biased in this vote, and you can all imagine where my vote went to. Speedworth Motorsports, I am a licensed official for them, of course, and while Trackstar absolutely are fantastic, the way they run a track, the way they run the promotion is absolutely amazing. But Speedworth do that for 7 to 8 tracks with lots of other things happening outside, and with the years they've had, with the way things have gone with COVID and having to keep those tracks open, trying to push things forward with the, I suppose, in inverted commas, premier formulas, not only with bangers, but of course with national hot rods, with all of the other formulas they're running. To keep that going and salvage the season is a testament to everyone that works in head office, especially Adam Leslie, Gavin Botfield, and of course Dean and Janet Wood. Now, of course, like I've said, of course I'm going to be biased to say Speedworth as a Speedworth track marshal, but I think what Speedworth have managed to do over the last 2 years, put on the world final, of course, it rained like a monsoon, which no one could have foreseen. But with the Bangor World Series, with the Entertainers League, with the way that they have been trying to promote that, with Back to Basics, which has revitalised Speedworth 1600cc bangers, which have had their best season ever and looks like it's going from strength to strength. I just think that Speedworth have done such a great job. Now, like I said, that's with a pinch of salt because, of course, I'm biased. But I think Speedworth have done absolutely fantastically. Oh, sorry, Jordan, go on.
No, I mean, I was just going to say, and to be honest, this might help your cause as well. I think Speedworth have probably had their best national banger season for a good few years. I know some people will point towards the National Banger World Final, but I mean, if you're going to blame Speedworth for that, then I think you really need a bop on the head, for want of a better phrase, because
I guarantee it won't stop some people blaming Deanwood for the weather.
No, but I mean, guys, come on, no one can help the weather. As James said, I think the BWS has gone from strength to strength this year. The fact that some drivers have focused more with Speedworth this year, like I mentioned earlier, the likes of 246 Aston Burt and 77 Avio, Aaron Charles as well. Those two drivers, obviously one of many, but would probably only tend to do 1 or 2 Speedworth meetings a year, and now sort of going, no, I want to do the BWS to qualify for the World Final. I think only shows how much Speedworth are pushing the scene at the moment. And obviously, as James said as well, you know, the multitude of other classes that they run. I mean, they obviously have a couple of brisk Formula One dates. If you obviously look at in-car races as well at Northampton and Hednesford, and also the National Hot Rod as well, not to mention obviously the other Hot Rod and Stock Car categories. Every single one of them got their major championships this year in what was effectively only 3/4 of a season. Speed Weekend was run to full capacity and with a full quota of what you would expect a Speed Weekend to be.
And very well.
So yeah, I think. And very well as well. So I think, bearing all that in mind, I think it's is it a little bit unjust? No, it probably isn't unjust, because obviously, like we said, Trackstar have had a very good year, but I think Speedworth deserved to be closer to Trackstar this year, definitely. So no, I will back you up there a little bit, James.
In third place was Camzo, obviously known for their meetings at Warneston Speedway, and I think touching upon what we've said about the strange year that 2021 was, someone that obviously Camzo regularly turn out good quality meetings, but they've managed to sort of capitalise on all the lockdown regulations that have happened in Europe by attracting some of the ASEM and drivers across, where Holland's not been able to run meetings at M and only managed to sort of squeeze 2 in throughout this year, whereas Cams, I think, were 5, maybe 6 meetings, and luckily, obviously, drivers could cross the border, but it's just more the regulations over that side. So I think that they managed to capitalise on a good season. And you look at the World Final, for instance, the some of the highlights of crashing moments came from the Camzo seeded drivers, thoroughly getting stuck in, and the European Championship again, a great meeting that saw that huge jack in train with the sort of auto sculpture and whatnot, and again looks like a promising year overseas for them next year. What with the Paul Lacey Memorial meeting and the regular all-wheel drive meeting, the European Championship, all the celebrations that they have with the European Championship meeting too, looks like it should be another good season for them next year in 2022.